smart. You also gotta have common sense.
Now, of course, at meetings, depending on who else gets elected, you might be one of the few people that actually feel like the school administration answers to you. That's not going to make you very popular. Is that going to be a problem? You have kids in the school, right?
Right.
And they may come up with a nickname for you at the school. And your kids find out, and they come home and say, Mom, they call you Attila the Hun, or something like that.
They already call me that anyway, so I'm good with that. No, it doesn't scare me. It doesn't scare me. My kids are strong and independent thinkers, and you know, being on the band booster board as long as I have been, things have been said, and I've been called names, and my kids kind of look at them and laugh it off.
So you're okay with basically moving the board, certainly yourself, to take a supervisory and at times antagonistic position.
Absolutely.
With administration.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, thank you. Bob?
In your times with the school board meetings, and I have not attended any of yours, I have attended CISDs, but are the school board meetings totally run by the superintendent?
They are not.
Does the board go along with everything the superintendent says?
They do not.
They do not. So they do question him.
I think that they question him, but I don't think it's to the degree that it should be.
During the time that's available for the public to speak, most of them will not answer anything that's brought up. Are they is the current board or the administration actually listening to the people, and does anything get done after the response from the public is brought forward?
I think it is. I think sometimes, depending on what it is, sometimes the board will address it right then and there, and sometimes they say we have to take it back and have a discussion on it. And I think some items move forward.
There was a big issue not too long ago about school assets being used in political events. Do you think that's appropriate?
No.
Do you know if there's a policy within the school district for if I wanted to rent a school van, or if I wanted to store my equipment in the school? Is there a policy that would allow me to do that?
No, there is not.
Do you think there should be?
No, I do not.
Do you think that anybody should be able to use the school facilities for their personal gain at any time?
No. Absolutely not.
It seems to be at odds with, your last two answers seem to be at odds with one another. Could you explain that?
I don't feel that members who are not school board, well, no, even then, vehicles, buildings, what have you, are owned by the district. They are not for somebody's personal use or political gain.
It sounds like a policy.
It is a policy.
But you said you're against policies.
No, I'm for the policy that no one else should be able to use them except for school personnel.
Does that include the superintendent if he's doing something with somebody that's not school person?
If it is not in the school interest, a school activity, no, you should not be able to.
Okay, now as taxpayers within the county, it doesn't matter if I live within the school district, we're still paying county taxes, and that does come back over to y'all. If the facility, if a nonprofit wanted to use the facility, is there a policy set up for nonprofits to be able to use school facilities?
Yes,
With payment?
with payment.
In our questionnaire, we got about 15 minutes. In our questionnaire in the budget, one of the questions was, will you vote to limit budget increases to a factor based on population growth and inflation? Explain. Your answer was no. hasn't worked in other states or schools. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Traditionally looking at, so I came from Cy-Fair School District, perfect example. Currently, they're looking at proposing some insane bond, right? Trying to get it passed. When you're incurring more debt, even though you're growing, your debt's going to continue to grow. I am all opposed to anything that's going to raise our tax money, period. There has to be another way for our school district to grow without incurring additional bond debt. Plain and simple. It shouldn't take a 30-year bond that my grandkids' kids are going to be paying on to grow a district. Does that answer?
Yeah. The amount of money that MSID has in their bank account for contingent doesn't matter simply because it won't be enough. Explain a little bit of that, because the question was, how much money does MISD have in their bank account for contingencies? So, and how much is required, is the statutory requirement?
So I don't know how much money Magnolia has in their bank account currently, but I know that it won't be enough because of the whole bond issue. If we're looking at building another school, which we are going to be potentially going 6A next year, we're going to have that additional third high school. That's a bond. Well, contingency is, depending on the district, anywhere between 5 and 8% in their bank account. 5 to 8% of what taxpayers are putting in does not build another high school.
Okay.
With that, there's currently a bond being projected out there for another school district, just for renovation of a high school at $146 million. That same school district just built a brand new high school for $146 million. Do you think that's an outrageous amount to spend for a high school?
To renovate, absolutely.
And how about for a brand new facility?
That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's inflation at its best. That's people.
Have you ever built a school? How do you know that's, what do you base your answer on?
Coming from Cy-Fair, they built high schools all the time. They're one of the quickest growing districts within the state. If you go back and look historically at their records of the cost of high schools, big 2-story gorgeous high schools, not 146 million.
But they'll tell you the costs increase that much every year. And if you don't build it now, it's gonna be that
Yeah.
much more in
For
5,
10 years.
yeah,
It's true.
that's the story there.
And that was me. Oh, he took over.
He took over.
And you took over.
Introduced a whole new.
So we'll give you some back.
You can have some of mine.
I'll go again.
Take away from Bob.
You already had mine.
Go ahead.
No.
Dill.
Okay, proper balance between local and state funding. There were a couple of questions we had on that. One of your answers said local funding coming from taxes, et cetera, should be lowered. If you understand how the school funding mechanisms are set up at the state level, so how would you accomplish that? Because lowering local contributions means that the school board has to either lower the appraisals or lower the tax rate. That's the only way to lower the local contribution.
Mm-hmm. The state needs to step up. They've dropped their spending and their contribution to school districts drastically.
And you know why, right?
Yes, I do. But at the same time, if we're taking our tax dollars and they're going to the county, and the county's sending them to the state, and the state's using them for other things, and not putting forth what they really should be putting towards school districts, there's a breakdown. And I know currently there is a House bill that is to increase that spending to the school districts. And I'm hoping that goes through. but they have drastically each year, slowly but surely, dwindled down.
So let's say that House bill goes through, the state comes through. Let's be generous, they doubled what they gave Magnolia last year. Are you gonna cut in half what you took from the locals through property taxes? And how are you going to achieve that?
I am all for not raising taxes. If we can accomplish as we grow without raising our tax rates, yay. But I am not for raising taxes.
Okay, we're not talking about raising, you actually said local funding coming from taxes should be lower.
Yes,
So.
people are being
you're
taxed
talking
out of
about-
their homes.
So if the school district is not in control of the appraisal board, the only mechanism the school district itself has is lower the tax rate. So you are actively encouraging lower tax rates.
Yes,
And that's how you would vote or whatever, or encourage. Okay. Okay. Do I still have a couple minutes? Or a couple seconds? Couple seconds?
What do you want to say for next go around?
Yes, I will hear it to next go around. Okay, James. Or let Larry have the glasses.
You talk about, I was going to challenge you on one thing you were talking about, which was that the state drastically reduced their funding. I'm looking at the 2018-19 general fund budget. The state program revenues was $39.8 million. And then in the 2011-12, 8 years ago, or 7, it was 38.5. So we're really only talking about a $1 million. That going down is going up $1 million. When you say they've drastically cut, now admittedly your local has gone from 40 million to 62. But they haven't really cut, have they? I mean, you're getting $1 million more than you did 7 years ago. So how has the state cut the money? In what way has their money been reduced because it doesn't look like it?
I'm going to explain it in the way I explained it to my husband today.
Sure.
You have a gallon of milk. A gallon of milk used to be 99 cents. It's now $3 a gallon. Used to be 99 cents could get you a gallon of milk. Now 99 cents cannot get you a gallon of milk. When you have the cost of living inflation, but no adjustment on what you're bringing home, it doesn't balance out. You have to grow the cost of living. So it's the same thing as the school district or the state. If they're not changing what they're contributing, so that one difference in $1 million over a period of how long? 7 years?
Yeah.
It's $1 million.
So you're saying they haven't reduced it, they just haven't increased it enough.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Bob?
So while we're on funding, and you're talking about people getting taxed out of their houses, the only way they get taxed out of their houses is because of property taxes. There was a bill put forward during the last legislative session, hopefully in this one, I haven't even looked, to do away with property taxes and to increase the sales taxes. Do you think that's a wise move or not?
I think that the last I saw, there was a bill that was put forth to limit the increase on property taxes to where they could only increase it 1% to 2% per year. I'm all for when the appraisal district comes in and appraises, say a mobile home. When the appraisal goes up instead of down, mobile homes don't appreciate in value, they decrease in value. So explain to me where that inflation is on a mobile home and why my property taxes are going up, right? My property value is staying the same. My house is going up. I don't fully agree with raising sales taxes. I can see it to a certain degree. But I know with property values, as our district grows, as our county grows, we're obviously going to see an increase in those just because of additional businesses coming in, additional homes being built, what have you. Does it make it right? No.
So we're back to servitude to the government, which when we got our independence from England, one of the things that we did was to get away from the king owning all of the properties. We're back to the same position now.